Right, I think we're good to go.
Sure.
You might be.
Well, it all began really visually seeing what was going on the streets, but the turning point was the previous mayor, called Miroslav Semov, came to our house. Anthony was away working at the time offshore, and he said to me, "What would you change about Bulgaria if I became mayor?" And I said, "I'd really like to see an effective, humane, problem-solving approach to the dog problems on the streets." And he said, "What would you do?" And I said, "We would start a castration programme for all street dogs and humanely try to control the street dog population." And that is how it all started. And he became mayor. I went and voted for him. And the rest is history, really. But it all started as we had 400 leather a month, and that was purely just for castrating street dogs. And that's where it all started. About £200 a month castrating and releasing dogs.
Yeah, and basically Miroslav Semov, who was the new mayor, he helped us and basically instigated everything that's happened here. I mean, all the legalities, all the planning permissions, everything like that. He basically made it all happen, and without his help we don't think that we would have become legal quite as efficiently and quickly as we did, because he really did push the boat out and help us and made things happen.
He'd been on a dogs trust course in London, so he saw a different way to managing street dog population. He saw a different way approach to caring for animals and education, and that, I think, you know, we were in the right place at the right time with the right mayor, and that's how it all started.
I did once say to him, I said, you know, that the mentality of the way the dogs are treated is quite hard in Bulgaria, and he says, well, I really want to help you change that.
Well, the first thing we did, so we had some old wood sheds that we converted into kennels, didn't we? We concreted them and put fencing made gates and things. That's how it all started, sort of on a small level. But the main thing that really got us going was we did a fundraiser, and it was just for friends and family, really, and that was to make what we call the top pen, and is it 600 square metres?
Yeah, there.
It was about £1,500 we raised, and that was to make a pen, which is now our play park for dogs. But that's how we sort of started to become a shelter, well, more of a rescue. We had about 15 dogs at that time. And then our patron came on board. She's an actress, and she actually cycled from Bulgaria to London with a dog that she adopted from us. She had it in a trailer on the back of a bike, and that's the money that made the shelter. So for the licence, we had to have a clinic on site. We had to have everywhere fully fenced in, because we had absolutely no fencing at the time, and that's where it...
Yeah, that was the massive boost that made everything possible, really. We didn't at that point get any finance from Bulgaria, from the municipalities, or any finance from any business or anything here. It was all friends, family and people we knew who helped us start this, really. And there's another organisation, Polga's Fund.
Yeah, Polga's Fund, a very small charity.
A very small charity, and there's a lady here who was doing some neutering cats and dogs long before we were, and she inspired us and helped us initially with a 400 leather a month fund that helped us get started and helped us build to where we are now.
We often blame her for the sleepless nights.
Sandy, this is all your fault.
Yeah, Sandy, thanks for that. But yeah, that's how it all got rolling, really. But the bike ride was what built, because obviously Kate Lamb had a lot of supporters, and she has a fan base, and they really got behind the bike ride, and we had a bit of publicity around it. But that's how street hearts, and actually Kate named us street hearts because when we started we were called the castration programme for Drianavo municipality, which is a really inspiring name.
Yeah. And Kate Lamb started the name Street Hearts when we did an initial fundraiser for the bike ride. The only thing is, when we looked online, Street Hearts was actually a rock band in America. So we had to call it Street Hearts BG, BG's for Bulgaria, and then the name stuck and it just went from there, really.
Yeah. At the moment we have 95 dogs on site, and it's a huge problem because our licence is for 70 dogs, but if we say no, or if somebody turns up at the house with a box of puppies, what can we do? You know, it's really, really difficult. We have had a warning earlier this year to keep under our numbers, and we're trying our best. But yeah, that's how many dogs we've got at the moment. And then Vinny and Lucy are doing a lot of outreach work, and I think there's 30 dogs out there at the moment.
And the rest.
Oh,
At any one time, we're hovering around 100, 120 dogs that we have on site or are in our care. And last summer, we actually peaked at 148, and it was extremely hard work.
Yeah. And
Everybody was frustrated, and it was difficult to deal with, but we can't do that again. But we do our best to maintain somewhere around sort of 80, 90, don't we, if we can.
yeah, we can manage that, but they won't increase our licence, which is a huge problem. You know, so yeah, that's how many we've got at the moment. Most of them are puppies. Because of COVID, we've had a huge issue getting volunteers here. We've got a volunteer on her way at the moment from Ireland. She's currently in Switzerland. But yeah, at the moment we have Steffi, everybody who's here at the moment, they're paid staff because we have a wonderful grant from Battersea. So Steffi's from Germany, who is our shelter manager. We've got Vinny and Emmeline from the UK and France. We've got Lucy, who's Bulgarian, working here, and then we've got a few people who come on a day-to-day basis. But at the moment, because of COVID, we're having a real issue getting international volunteers here.
We have found through the years that people have come and volunteered, such as Vinny, such as Steffi, Emmeline, and generally people want to come back. Like Dan was with us for 18 months, but Dan came previously twice before, and he liked it so much he wanted to come back, and he stayed for 18 months. So we have found that volunteers do come from abroad. They like what's going on, they get involved, and they see the differences that are being made, and then from that they either come back as volunteers or, as Emma's just explained, quite a few of them have actually turned into being employed by Street Hearts. And this all makes massive changes here. Having full-time staff, it's really changed everything that we do now.
We're desperate for international volunteers to come back, to be honest. It's just, you know,
As
COVID.
soon as
COVID.
world travel allows,
Yeah, we'll open the doors
we'll
up
open
again.
the doors again properly.
No.
No, absolutely not. No, we do understand that quite a lot of organisations do that, and Dan, for instance, paid quite a lot of money to go to a rhino rescue in Africa. And if people are offering their time to volunteer and come and follow us in basically our dream, we don't expect them to pay for it. In fact, we usually support them with food and accommodation and transport things while they're here. No, absolutely not. We don't expect payment.
We've always had dogs, haven't we? I mean, and I worked with police dogs in the UK. But, I think we've both grown since we started the shelter, and you know, I've realised definitely, we've had a lot of training from Kate Lamb, who is a dog trainer and behaviourist. But we've learned through experience what works and what doesn't work. So yeah, we have had experience in the past, but yeah.
Yeah, we were like Emma. Emma's had pets all her life, and I actually used to be a farmer for my sins, and we obviously had dogs, so I've got the experience of animals, not just necessarily dogs, but of animals. And then with Emma's medical experience through the hospitals when she was a nurse, and with my experience through dealing with veterinary in England for the farm animals, we had knowledge. Not necessarily for dogs, but we had knowledge about animals, and that certainly helped. And then we've evolved, and we constantly learn every day. And our theory is that if you're open to it, you can learn something new every day.
The animals actually teach us a lot as well. The dogs really do teach us. You know, that I do say that they are our teachers as well, because we learn what works and what doesn't work. But yeah, you know, we've grown up around animals, haven't we? But I think I've definitely learned a lot in the last 5 years, a lot.
Yeah. And we've got lots to learn still.
Yeah, definitely.
I just thank everybody for our support. You know, the way Street Arts has evolved over the last 5 years is incredible, and even we're shocked by the way things have evolved. You know, we never ever expected this. We thought we'd just start neutering a few dogs on the street. Soon learned that didn't really work. The dogs were mistreated, so we decided to start rescuing dogs, and it's just evolved into what it is today. And without public support, mainly from abroad, there's 1 or 2 people support us here, but it's mainly from abroad, worldwide, it's become an incredible thing, and we're really proud of it, and we're really proud of the support we've got. Thank you.
We're thinking big, aren't we? We're thinking to keep spreading the net, you know, try and find what works, what doesn't work, and I think we're getting there. We're doing all the community work that we dreamt of, but didn't have the resources to do.
We didn't have the time. There was only me and you, wasn't there?
No, but you know, I think we can do it. I think we can really spread the net.
We've got some good following now from Battersea. It's an incredible following from Battersea. We've got some incredible business following in the UK now.
We've got Vinny.
We've got Vinny here doing the education.
Vinny's road shows.
And we've actually, from, well, Battersea, for instance, Battersea is the most well-known dog rescue organisation in the world, and they've told us to think big. So it's
quite
really
daunting.
It's daunting, but it's inspiring.
Yeah, we're inspired to continue. It's frustrating at times, but we'll do it.
We'll do it.